questions to ask for new potential employees. That's what we're going to talk about in this video. A lot of organizations struggle with hiring new employees and finding the right candidate. There's time crunches. They need to keep moving forward. And sometimes they take too little time in the front and they sacrifice it in the back end with hiring the wrong employee. And even if we ask the right kind of questions, sometimes we're going to have that issue. But by and large, if we ask the right kind of questions up front, we're going to be successful when we hire the new employee. And we're not going to be just trying to stick a little gear into the machine and hope it works. We're not going to just sit there and look at a list of questions that HR gives us and try to pick somebody out from that. We're going to have to come up with our own good questions. And so I'm going to give you a few today that are focused mainly on the values, because we need to make sure that the new employee has the right kind of values that match ours, because if they don't, it's kind of like oil and water. They don't mix. So we need to make sure that when we're asking people these kind of questions, that they're going to fit our culture and our values and our mission. Because if we don't, guess what's going to happen? They're going to leave. And we're going to be back here slow, which is going to drive higher costs and lower profits in our organization. We don't want that. We want to be able to move further, farther, faster with our employees. So let's get on to a few of the questions. First question I always like to ask is, tell me a story about a critical situation you were in and how you were able to dig in and overcome, even though it really cost you some joy. That's right. I want them to go back to a story where they felt some pain and it wasn't ideal for them and they were able to move forward. Because we want to make sure that people have that grit, that they're going to stay into the fight. They're not going to leave at the first sign of trouble. Because let's be honest, the first 90 days, if we don't help them become winners at their position, they're going to be looking for another job in about a year or two anyways. So we need to understand what their grit level is, because they're going to face trials in our organizations. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. I know people say think positive. I'm positive. It's going to happen. The second one is, what interests you about our organization? Now we're going to get a lot of fluff kind of answers. So we're going to have to dig into that one a little bit more, where we just say, tell me more about that. Let them drive in a little further. We want to really elevate this, because if we don't, we're going to get those cheap answers and we're not going to get to the root of their values. And unfortunately, if they don't align, like I said, they're going to be gone. And most people give candid answers that headhunters gave them for giving answers to some of these kind of questions. But we just ask, tell me more. Step into that. Make them dive in a little bit more. If they don't have any kind of more fat besides what's been kind of candid answers, then we know that they're probably here just because they want a paycheck and vacation time and nothing more. We really need to focus on learning more about those people, taking that time and making them answer these questions a little bit more deeply is going to help us with that. The third one is, what are you hoping to gain by stepping into this position? Knowing that you're going to probably have 3 to 6 months of pain when you start this new job to learn our processes and who to contact and everything. What are you hoping to gain from this position? And then make them answer. Then sit back and kind of think about how that values and what they're trying to do will tell us that. And then ask, tell me more. Drive down. Learn more. Get to the heart of that value. Because if they're not going to align with the value, then they're not the right person, and we're going to be here again. We don't want that. We want that person to be engaged with us long term. So we need to make sure we understand those values. If we do that well, we're going to achieve greatness and more profits, right? Speed will go up, costs will go down, more profits. And at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for with our organizations. Now, if you have any more questions about that, feel free to reach out. Contact information is below. If this video is helpful, hit like, share, subscribe. Send to somebody you think it might benefit. That's why I do these videos, to help you. We'll see you next time.